How far will you go for your dog? I never thought I'd become the person everyone whispered about in town, but when someone threatens what you love, you discover who you really are. My German Shepherd, Apollo, was a rescue with scars running down his back from his previous owner. He'd been found chained to a tree during a snowstorm, half-starved and terrified. The shelter said he might never trust humans again. For 3 months, I slept on the kitchen floor next to his bed. He'd growl when I got too close, but I kept talking to him, reading books aloud so he'd get used to my voice. The first time he rested his head on my lap, I cried. By spring, Apollo was a different dog. Playful, protective, my shadow everywhere I went. That's when Mr. Harmon moved in next door. He was on the town council and made it clear from day one that he hated Apollo. That beast shouldn't be allowed in this neighborhood, he'd say loudly whenever we walked past. I ignored him until the day I found raw meat laced with antifreeze tossed over my fence. The vet pumped Apollo's stomach just in time. When I confronted Harmon, he smiled. Prove it was me. I installed security cameras that night. A week later, they caught him spraying something through my fence. The police said they couldn't do anything without evidence Apollo was his target. They called it a neighbor dispute. Then Harmon started pushing for a dangerous breed ordinance at council meetings. That woman's dog is a menace, he'd say, pointing at pictures of Apollo playing in my yard. What if he attacks a child next? I attended every meeting, bringing Apollo's training certificates, vet records, even neighbors who vouched for him. But Harmon had connections. The ordinance passed 4-3. I had 30 days before they could take Apollo. I contacted 17 landlords in neighboring towns. None would accept a German Shepherd. I couldn't afford to buy property, not after spending my savings on Apollo's emergency vet bills. With 2 days left, Harmon smiled from his porch as animal control measured my fence height. Should have gotten rid of that monster when I first warned you. That night, I loaded Apollo into my car with everything we could fit. I left my job, my house, my hometown, everything I'd spent 15 years building. We drove 800 miles to my cousin's farm. She let us stay in her guest cabin while I found work at the local diner. The tips were lousy, but Apollo had 5 acres to run free. No fences, no Harmon, no fear. 6 months later, I received a certified letter. Harmon had died, and the ordinance was being repealed after evidence emerged that he'd falsified attack reports. My old boss offered my job back. My house was still on the market. I could return to my life. But watching Apollo race through the fields, fearless and happy for the first time, I knew we weren't going anywhere.